Welcome back, guys. On this video we're going to take a look at the area of a cylinder. A lot of people are more uncomfortable with this kind of stuff of cylinder. They don't understand the formulas that they use there. They don't understand what's going on actually and how they can be able to memorize that kind of formula and understand it actually, not just memorizing it. So on this video I'm just going to show you where does this kind of formula come from and how you can be able to understand it and can be able to remember it in your exam. So without wasting more of your data, let me just get straight to the point. So a cylinder, guys, now a cylinder is an object that is formed by what? By two circles and a curved rectangle. Let me just let that kind of information sink to you. A cylinder is an object, that is formed by two circles and a curved rectangle. Let me show you the visuals of what I'm talking about. So a cylinder is formed by two circles like this, which is the top and the bottom part. I hope it is clear there on the camera. And also, it is also formed by what? By a rectangle like this one. So this is a rectangle, but you can see it very clear if it is like this, so that these two sides are not equal. But I like to put it in this way so they can be able to see. So this is our length and this is our height of this kind of stuff. So what do I mean when I say it is formed by two circles and a curved rectangle? This is not a curved rectangle. Why is not a curved rectangle? It is a curved rectangle. When we want to form these, look at what is going to happen. We're going to fold our rectangle. It was like this, but now we're going to fold it like this. So when we fold it like this, what is going to happen? And then we'll put this circle up front here, and we also put the other circle there. And what is formed here is what? Is a cylinder. So hence I say a cylinder, it is formed by what? By two circles and a curved rectangle. So in other words, we know how to get an area of what? Of a circle. We'll talk about it, guys. If you have not watched my videos, we know how to find the area of this. We also know how to find an area of this. Easy. I made a video, guys, about this kind of stuff. So it's going to be very, very easy for you to understand how this kind of formula comes from. So we know how to find an area of a circle. We know how to find an area of the rectangle. So it means that this kind of cylinder actually is not that difficult. It's going to be very, very easy. So first, we're going to start with the area of what? Of area of a circle, of a circle. What is an area of a circle? An area of a circle is pi r squared. But this one is an area of what? Of one circle. So since we have two circles here, what will be the total surface area of these two circles? So since it's 2, we're going to put 2. So the area of circles now, the area of circles of these two circles actually, circles, I hope you can see there at home. This is going to be 2 pi r squared. So these two represent what? These two circles that are here. So it means that we are more closer to where we are going. So now, if we can be able to find an area of this, then we can be able to add it with this one, and you are going to find our formula of what? Of our cylinder. So here, this is what? This is a rectangle. What is an area? What is an area of what? Of a rectangle. Of a rectangle. An area of a rectangle is equals to what? Is equals to the length multiplied by the height. Yes. But here's where something's starting to get a little bit confusing. This kind of a rectangle that we're talking about here is not a rectangle actually, it's a curved rectangle. There is something here that is not the actual size that we see here. What do I mean by that? If you can pay close attention here, when we want to form this cylinder, we have to fold what? We have to fold our what? Our rectangle, I want you to pay close attention to this one. When we fold our triangle, look at our height. Our height remains the same, which means it remains true. It remains the actual height that is there. If this height was 5, it was going to remain as 5 centimeter. But look at this. Look at this. When our rectangle is here, since this rectangle, it is used as a curved rectangle to form a cylinder. Look at our length. What is going to happen to our length? When we fold these, our length, when it's like this, our length is 5 centimeter, right? But when you fold these, our length is not going to be equal to 5. Look at it. Are you going to still say that this is a 5 centimeter when it is round like this? No, you cannot say that our length is going to be 5. So what is happening to our formula here of our rectangle? It means that this L is no longer the same L, because now it's no longer 5 centimeter, right? It's what? It's a circle. And what does it form underneath of it? It forms what we call a circumference of the circle, you know? So it forms what we call a circumference, a circle, a circle, you know, a circumference circle, you know. So what is a circumference, a circle? You might be asking yourself there at home, what is this guy saying? A circumference circle, guys, is a circle. Actually, let me just show you. It's a circle like this. It's still the same circle like this, but this circle is a 1D object. Let me just let that kind of information to you sink. A circumference is a circle, but that kind of a circle is a 1D object. On our first video of this playlist, we talk about the difference between the 1D, 2D, and the 3D dimension. If you haven't watched it to understand what is the difference between these two objects, please go and watch that kind of video. I'll also edit in the video description. So a circumference, you know, a circumference of the circle is a 1D object, you know. So what do I mean? What is the difference between this circle and this circle? So the difference between this circle and the circumference is because on the circumference, you cannot see what is at the back of the circumference. You can only see the front part. You can only see the one side. Hence, it's called the 1D object. But look at this circle that we're talking about here. We can see what is here and the back part of this circle, you know. So this is a 2D dimension. Hence, it is not the same as what? As the circumference of the circle. Circumference of the circle is a 1D object, but a circle is a 2D object. I want you to differentiate that. Why? It's because of this. So a circumference of the circle, it has an area of it. An area of a circumference is equal to pi r, you know. An area of a circle is equal to what? Pi r squared, you know. But a circumference of the circle is equal to pi r, you know. Perfect. So okay guys, I made a mistake while recording this video and I just realized it right now. The area of the circumference of the circle is equals to 2 pi r, you know. So the area of the circumference of the circle is not equal to pi r, it's equals to 2 pi r. So I want you to keep that in mind, and I'm going to just speed up this video so that I can be able to like get back where I was. Our length of what? Of our rectangle, which is this one. On our length of our rectangle, what is going to happen? In terms of L, we're going to substitute what? Our circumference of the circle. Why? Is because this kind of rectangle, it's not just a rectangle, it's a curved rectangle. When we fold it, this length becomes a what? An area of what? Of the circumference. You know, it's becoming a circumference. It's no longer going to be a length, but a circumference. So hence here, in terms of length, we can substitute what? That kind of area of circumference, which is 2 pi r, you know. So then we'll multiply by the h. Look at the h, it's still going to be the same. Why? It's because when we fold this, the letter h here is still going to be the, if it is 5, it's not going to be affected. But the L, when we fold, it's no longer going to be 5 centimeters because it's going to be round, and that round is what? Is a circumference, you know. So the area of this kind of rectangle is going to be equals to what? 2 pi r h, you know. Perfect. So now that we find the total area of what? Of this curved rectangle and the total area of these two circles, now we can add them out to find the total surface area of this all. So the total surface area, or the total, let me just say TSA, total surface area, or the area of a cylinder is equals to what? Is equal to the area of the circles, which is this one, 2 pi r squared, plus the area of our curved rectangle, which is 2 pi r h. So in your class, or in your class at your school, when your teacher introduced this, he can give you this kind of a formula, and you will start to wonder, where does it come from? Do you have to memorize it or what? But what you need to understand here is that a cylinder is being formed by two circles, and these two circles, the area of two circles is this one, and also a curved rectangle, which is this one. When we fold it, the length becomes a what? A circumference of the circle. And so the area of a circumference is equals to 2 pi r circumference. So when we substitute it here on our length, we're going to end up with something like this. So this is how this kind of formula come from. On our next video, we're going to do some few examples that deals with the cylinder. So make sure you don't miss it. So see you in my next video. Sharp.